For today's cup of coffee, and as we are recording this, Mercury is now in retrograde. Yeah, lovely. And so that's probably, it's usually a week before.
So sorry for
Actually, it's 2 weeks before, 2 weeks after that things start going screwy. So I should have known that that was what was going on with the viewfinder on the camera.
Gemini placements.
Yeah, Gemini, anybody that's got, you know,
An inkling of Gemini.
well, I don't know if it's necessarily an inkling, but it was like, you know, sun, rising, and moon. And for 3 months, those people, because of the alignments, they can have a rough time.
So, like 11th house does not affect you.
No, not really.
Slightest.
See, I've got a moon in Gemini, which is why I like to learn new things. I need to learn new things. So maybe I'm not going to like what I learn. I don't know. But I'm not a fan of Mercury retrograde. If you're new to the channel and don't know about Mercury retrograde, electronics, it will screw with electronics. I mean, that's something like your car will start doing something funky. You can take it to a mechanic and he's going, I can't find anything wrong with it. And then after Mercury goes out of retrograde, whatever will just suddenly disappear.
Yeah.
Travel. It's one of those expect delays. Change of plans.
Delays.
Communication errors. People misunderstanding what you're saying. So everybody be patient and loving with everybody. Because everybody going through shit season right now. That's about as bluntly as I can put it.
Yeah.
Speaking about a group of people going through shit season, this actually comes from Mysterious Universe and Paul Seaburn, and this was September the 9th of 2022.
We see y'all hating asses.
Who?
The ones who were getting on to us about...
No, that was about Brent Swanser. I think it was his relatives. I actually have got a story from, that coming up in the next few days. It's just that the ones that were more current, that you sort of hopped on those. Mm. On some things, we actually have reported on before some of the mainstream peoples. We edgy.
Yeah, we cut an edge. Mirror's edge.
Anyhow, the title of this article is Mysterious Holmfield Hum is Destroying the Lives of English Towns Residents. Yeah.
We should have been playing some brown noise.
No, he wanted to do some kind of hum in the back, and I'm like, no, that'll just annoy me. And so Mr. Seaburn writes...
It's like the low hum of a fridge. We could have had that playing in the background.
Well, yeah, it depends. It's he starts out...
Hotel air conditioner hum.
For the third time. He starts out, did you hear that? Youngest kid's response would be, no, I did not hear that.
What are you talking about?
It's an innocent question, one that is often asked with a puzzled look on one's face, but sometimes with a gaze of concern or even fear. In many cities around the world, hearing a mysterious hum has become a frustrating way of life, especially when only a small percentage can hear a low-frequency hum and are forced to deal with disbelieving family, friends, and city officials. In other towns, a mysterious hum causes anger as many people hear it, but neither science nor government has an explanation. The latter appears to be the case in a town in West Yorkshire, England, where many residents complain that a low-level hum has tortured them for at least 2 years with no indefinable cause, treatment, or relief. And because this is Mr. Seaburn, someone has quoted, and I don't know who, it's causing issues for people such as a lack of sleep, headaches, and pressure to the front of the head, foggy brain, painful ears, stress, and anxiety, which has led to, whoever it is, somebody having a case of shingles.
Who?
Residents have been unable to relax in their own home for nearly a year, and the noise is continuous day and night, end quote. Apparently that may have been a resident of Holmfield, a village in Halifax in West Yorkshire, England, who commented in 2021 about the Holmfield hum. on an online petition signed by over 400 people complaining to the Calderdale Council and Bradford Metropolitan Council at the local governing bodies. The low-level humming sound was first reported in September of 2020 and has not stopped ever since, causing residents of Holmfield to lose sleep and suffer physical ailments as a result. Unlike other hums around the world, which are often too low of a frequency for most people to hear, the Holmfield hum has been recorded, and there is a link that you can go to here in the article and listen to it. It says that they are provided to the authorities who still have no real clue to its cause. And I did go ahead and listen to it. I didn't put the direct link because that's somebody else's work that they have collected the video of the hum. It was recorded on a cell phone, and I really didn't hear anything except static until the clip's 1 minute long, until like the last maybe 10 seconds or something you could detect a sound.
Well, maybe, I wonder if I could hear it.
You can try after we finish this, but with something like that, a microphone is not going to pick up a lot of the frequencies of a human ear. And the fact that some of these people could hear it and others could not.
Yeah.
So there's a lot more than just a simple vibration. It's a matter of how somebody is designed that they can receive those vibrations and perceive them. These mysterious hums have been reported for decades in the U.S., Canada, and UK, and many other nearby countries. Since they are primarily industrialized nations, the first thought has been to search for nearby factories or refineries, industrial plants, and the like, which are notorious for being noisy, operating around the clock, and created both sounds and vibrations that can travel in the air or underground. The hums have been around long enough and have persistently been unresolved that many have been given nicknames and had investigations and scientific and seismic studies done on them and the people affected by them. And someone else states, quote, "I can tell you at this stage that we believe that there are 3 possible causes of noise nuisance, which are in the process of being investigated. We cannot try it again. We continue to respond to any specific complaints at Holmfield or anywhere else because we have a duty to do that. The work is ongoing, and officers are in touch with everyone who has expressed concern."
Duty. It's just a bunch of brown noise.
Duty.
It's just a bunch of brown noise.
It says the sound in Halifax has now been named the Holmfield hum and has spawned a number of investigations into its cause. In January of 2022, the Halifax Courier reported that resident Nikki Kelly brought it up to the monthly cabinet meeting, saying she had received no answer from when she had asked about the hum at the October 2021 monthly meeting, and was told by cabinet member, Public Services and Communities Counselor Jenny Lynn that the investigations, which were ongoing in 2021, were still ongoing, but progress was being made. That is not much of a response compared to the one received by residents of Taos, New Mexico, who have been complaining for decades about their mysterious Taos hum. In a study in the early 1990s, it was found that at least 2% of Taos residents could hear a tone, but at varying frequencies depending on the hearer, between 32 Hz and 80 Hz, modulated from 0.5 to 2 Hz. That study also determined that hearers reported the sound fading as they moved away from it. 30 miles was the minimum to make it go away completely. That study also found that there was no difference in the number of males and females hearing the Taos hum, but middle-aged people were more likely to hear it than other age groups. Similar results were reported by a 1979 British study of hums across the UK. Would they find the same results in Holmfield? The Taos thing that's been around for forever about that hum. Somebody else quoted, "The investigating officers firmly believe that they are dealing with more than one noise from more than one source. Officers believe they have now exhausted all reasonable lines of inquiry to resolve the issue, end quote. In August of 2022, the BBC reported that Councillor Jenny Lynn again addressed questions from Holmfield residents, informing them that an independent noise consultant was brought in, but that investigation was impeded by the local topography and the mix of residential, commercial, and industrial buildings.
What is topography?
She said a number of local industrial facilities were noise surveyed and most were eliminated. They will continue to focus on industrial because the Windsor hum in Windsor, Ontario, which had been bothering the ears, minds, and health of residents in that area since 2011 and was vehemently denied by local factory owners to have an industrial cause, disappeared in 2020 when the blast furnaces at a U.S. steel mill were deactivated. Quote, we are in the process of updating people on the investigation findings and expect to complete this by mid-September, taking into account everyone's availability, end quote.
Okay.
That is political doublespeak, which means nothing.
They're talking out their ass.
Absolutely. They're trying to appease somebody, but also give themselves plenty more excuses to do nothing.
Yeah.
It says, while the good citizens...
they're doing something. They're just not doing what they're supposed to be doing.
While the good citizens of Holmfield are tired of hearing the hum, they are more tired of hearing the lack of resolution from Councillor Jenny Lynn. The BBC reports from the latest Calderdale Council meeting that Kelly assured residents the investigation is still underway, but a report will be forthcoming later in September. What do you want to bet that there was some kind of other delay and no resolution?
I bet it was that to like make them crazy.
Well,
make them agitated.
Well, this is something that, and we've discussed this in previous videos, how different tones, frequencies, noises, whatever, how that can affect the human brain and nervous system, because all that's interconnected.
Right.
And how that there have been military experiments in the past that were using frequencies. Some of them, they do have the acoustic weapons, that they can use against peoples today. That's legit. You can find that. There's a lot of the things, even as far as sonar that very easily could have an effect on aquatic life. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, a lot of that stuff does.
Well, you think about it.
The didgeridoo and the goldfish.
Yeah. Yeah. That was a bad day. God love it. It was a worst day for the poor little goldfish. I loved that fish. And what it was, I had a little goldfish, and he was in one of the round bowls.
It wasn't intentional.
No, I had no idea. And so I had bought a CD of didgeridoo. And yes, I do go into those realms occasionally. And I had put it on, didn't have a thought, and came back and looked, and there's poor little guy belly up. And the only thing that we could figure out, it had to have ruptured, something. And it was like, I was sort of horrified.
Scrambled his brain.
Well, it could have burst the swim bladder or whatever. It wasn't like we did a fish autopsy. And because I love that little guy. Yeah. Mm. And so I learned not to do that. But as far as how sound travels through water, it does have an impact as far as the surroundings, the curvature of the bowl in this case.
Yeah.
So we have no idea.
None.
But for those
Weirdness.
people, how frustrating it must be for the people who can hear this noise, and that it is chronic.
To be told they're crazy,
yeah.
Even though they hear it.
Yeah.
And it's not just one person. It's how many?
Well, that was
whole city.
I think it was 400 of them. Let me look.
Yeah.
I put my papers down. Yeah, 400 people.
Yeah.
That had signed the
400
petition.
people that are just hallucinating at the same time.
Well, it could have actually been more. That
hallucination.
They were the ones 400 signed the petition. And when you've got that, chronic agitation and stuff, that's why that one person said they had developed shingles, because that can cause you to have shingles, as far as high stress, different things like that.
Yeah.
But you also have to realize that that is a virus that wraps around the base of nerve endings. Yeah. It's part of the herpes, family of viruses. And people, like I said, you say the word herpes, people don't understand what that means. They don't understand that there's various chicken pox. That is a herpes virus. And basically, if you've had chicken pox, then you can at some point be prone to shingles because it's the same type of virus.
Right.
So if you've got something that's irritating somebody, and we don't know that this sound is not physically affecting the nerves. Yeah. So.
Well, shit.
God love them.
Yeah.
And it's like frequencies affect us even when we can't hear them. I've often wondered that as far as the electrical wiring in people's houses.
I mean, there's a frequency, literally, it's called the ghost frequency or whatever, and no one can hear it, but, like, it will make you scared, paranoid, and, like, also make you, like, see shit.
Well, and we've discussed also as far as why that spooky music, and it had to do with the different octaves, that it does affect your nerves.
And certain horror movies honestly do use that frequency in their music.
Yep. I heard a lady that was a doctor the other day that was discussing the research of a scientist quite a few years ago, maybe in the 50s. He was a Russian scientist. Speaking of Mercury in retrograde, the camera just quit. It just quit.
I have no idea where it stopped at.
I don't know either. And it's like, because the camera is having issues, we couldn't even look at. I would have had to have uploaded the video and all that stuff. So, yeah.
Yeah.
At some point, we will talk about I think we were talking about frequencies. Don't know how much was on there. Mm-hmm. But there was a doctor that I heard a week or so ago that was talking about a Russian scientist, maybe back in the 40s or 50s, that he had developed a microscope that, instead of using glass, used quartz. And that there were light frequencies that he was able to see that people who was just using, the microscope with glass couldn't.
Right.
And that he was working with different frequencies, and the crystal has a different frequency than glass.
Well, yeah.
And he was one of the ones that discovered that different viruses and things like that with certain frequencies would burst.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
That there are people, now I'm not making any claims, but I have heard people have the theory before that different diseases, as far as like even cancer cells and stuff like that, could be destroyed by using certain frequencies.
Well, yeah.
And how cool would that be?
That would be awesome. That's
to
better
people,
than chemo.
Oh, yeah. But cancer is big money.
Yeah.
Which is disgusting. But I feel for these folks there that are having to deal with this hum, because we don't know what it's doing to them, mind, body, and spirit. Mm-hmm. Wearing them down, I know that.
Yeah.
So before we have other technical somethings, because Mercury is in retrograde, if you've had experiences with the paranormal, supernatural, encounters with UFOs, aliens, cryptids, mysterious hums,
weird sounds,
yeah, weird sounds for sure. If you've got local, regional, or family myths or legends, some of y'all may live near this place. Maybe some of y'all have experienced this hum.
Maybe.
Send us an email, cupofcoffeewithscream@gmail.com, and that's in the description box, and the link to the article will also be in the description box. Know that you're loved.
Yes. And if you like this video, don't forget to like, share, comment, and most of all, subscribe and click that notification button for daily notifications of our daily uploads. Thank you all. Have a good. We'll see you all on the next one.
Drink coffee. It's good for what? It will soothe your soul.
Drink water. Coffee will dehydrate you more.
It will soothe your soul.
Caffeine dehydrates you.
Well, you can drink water after you drink the coffee.
Then what's the point of drinking the coffee?
Because
like
it will
if you drink the
soothe your
water,
soul.
if you drink the water, you got the taste of coffee right out of your face.
There's a difference. There is a difference.
Just drink water.
No.
Just
no.
drink water.
Coffee is an essential food group. It's an essential basic nutrient.
Apparently, Walmart has something that's like their version of electrolytes or whatever, and like it also has like energy or whatever. It's apparently like crack.
Oh God!
Like it hypes people up.
Well, I would look and see what that is, because if somebody
I'm gonna use it.
If somebody has an underlying health concern, that is not good. Check with your doctor. Buy your own blood pressure cuff.
It was like someone
which is a sphygmomanometer.
It was like someone shotgunned like 5 monsters in one sitting.
That can kill somebody. That has killed kids for real.
Yeah.
That's just stupid. Don't.
But it has
have some common sense.
An abnormal amount of caffeine in those little packets.
Like I said, and if you read, this is why they have to have warning labels. That's for stupid people.
In one packet, it's that absurd amount of caffeine.
God hell. Anyhow, we loves you. Drink more coffees.
Drink
and
water.
We'll see you on the next cup. Bye.